Nick Davies here. What's shown up for you when you've been successful? What's an area in your life that you've been successful at? Anything, could be small, could be big. Because this is your pathway you can follow to figure out what it is that you need to be successful. And I bet you the first thing you started with was a commitment. Was a commitment either to do the things you needed to do to move you down that place, or a commitment to getting to where you wanted to be. So if it was a commitment to a habit, for instance, I'm going to get up at a certain time every day, I'm just going to continue to do it. And then the strategy arrives as you're going through as to where you want to get to. I bet if you look back on all the things that you were successful at, it comes down to commitment. For me, in the ways that I see myself as successful across the years, and it doesn't have to be big things, it can be small things, but just something you set out to do, it always came down to commitment first. I set out to get to America. I didn't know how I was going to get there, but I set out to get here. And it appeared. I started to move towards that. Right? There was lots of stuff in between, but it was the commitment first that started to move me towards that place. And I bet you wherever you think about that in your life, that's what showed up for you, is the commitment first of all. Commitment to start lifting weights when I was young. Right? I wanted to just do it. I wanted to be that kind of person. So I started doing it. I was committed to getting there. It didn't matter about the how. I found that out along the way. And there's plenty of examples in my life that I've come back to when I realised that that's what I need first. Because quite frankly, if you're not committed, you're not going to do it. So all the things you can look at in your life you didn't do is just because you weren't committed. That's okay. Just to have that understanding up front is going to be really helpful, because if you think you're committed and you're not, and you don't follow through, you might think to yourself, oh man, I suck. Well, that's not cool. I didn't do that as I expected to do. But actually weren't committed in the first place. So that's first things first. Get committed or not get committed. Either make sure that you're all in or you're all out. Because if you're halfway in, you're going to get a reference when you don't get the result you want because you're not all the way in. You're going to get a reference for yourself that you don't follow through, or that you did the work and it didn't happen for you, or that there's no point doing the work because it doesn't happen for you. Not true, it's because you weren't committed in the first place. Think about the things in your life that you've been committed to. Was it a relationship? Was it getting to a specific financial place in your life? Was it developing a level of meaning and understanding, control over your emotions that you want? Was it in your business? You decide that that's it, I'm going to create this business, I'm going to go for it, and then you're living there? What was it, the spark that you committed to? Or in your career, what road did you decide to go down and really commit to getting there and showing you've got there now? And again, it doesn't have to be massive, because a lot of times we get references from people that are super successful, and for us at that point it seems obvious, right? Because well, of course it's easy for them to say they're successful now, but this shows up for all of us. We just don't often go back and review it, because it doesn't have to be $1 million deal. It doesn't have to be some way that you changed 1 million people's lives. It could just be small things that you're successful, or smaller things that you're successful at. How did you get into the career that you wanted to get into? How did you get the relationship you wanted? How did you go on the trip that you really wanted to go on? Whatever it is, you can follow these principles because they're in you. You got it. So really, I want to ask you guys to think about that. What's the most important area of your life? How can you apply a commitment that you've seen elsewhere in your life to that? And just follow those steps. You'll get there. Love to get your comments and your feedback. Thank you.